I don't know, we're due for a midnight rant. I fell asleep yesterday because that was so trippy yesterday because I did that video because I'm just like hanging out. I was just like, I should do my recording. And so I did it. And then when I finished, it was like 2:30 in the afternoon. I was like, dang, it's so early still. Like, there's so much more time left. And I started downloading it and I started, like, I think I was making food for Stella or something. It almost finished downloading the whole thing just in the time I did that. What did I just say the other day? It is so weird and random. That one, I don't even know if it took an hour to download that one. If it took an hour, it barely took over. And but I have ones that go 5, 6, 7 hours to download. So it's like, wow, that is weird. So I don't know what today's will be. I don't know. Definitely there seems to be something going on. And I shared one video. I just put it in the comments for yesterday. And it's one of the accounts I follow on TikTok. And she's one of those ones that is always talking about government, election, and, but she is, she's like right on top of it. So you just can see what she's saying and, she'll give you the update on everything. And so she was talking about the Facebook thing and all of that shut down. Like, that was so much a conversation yesterday. So many people talking about it. And so she was saying about that. But so that, I don't know, got her concerned or whatever. So she decided to go look at her portfolio, her, what is that called? When you put money into the stock market. Well, she went to go check on her stuff. She said it took 3 hours or something to even get into it. And then she does this whole thing talking about a bunch of stuff because she's saying it's about to crash. And she's explaining what she saw. And to me, it's like, and so stuff on the debt calculator, I guess. And, but this is the thing. We've been telling people this is coming. And it's like still coming in just like, but they think they're so awake. It's like, Jesus Christ, you know how long I've been saying this? And to the person who said, well, whatever it was about the dollar and stuff, like I have been, this was like something that I saw in 2020. I started looking into it. Like, I started living my life like, oh, the dollar's crashing. This dollar means nothing. This is a big fucking fake ass shit. So I started living that way once I saw. And yeah, I mean, this is real. So you just got to look more into it. It's just like coming out of the blue for a lot of people. It's just like, what? It's like, this has been going for a long time. It has to do with the BRICS. It has to do with Nassar. It's like a whole thing. And so this is really happening. And you can go in and listen to all sorts of experts about what they did to silver when they took us off the gold standard and why they had to repress it. It's a whole thing. You have to go in and understand how they created their economic system with the dollar and how they gave it value and to other countries. Like, it's a whole thing. And you'd have to go in and do some research to understand it. But yeah, it's crashing and the silver is going to skyrocket. All things that are heavy metal, like things that have real value, that are solid metals, they are going to go way up because they have some sort of use or something. Like, I don't know if we trade them with aliens, or I have no idea. Like, I don't even know what Joe Rogan was going off on that whole thing about gold. And so I don't know. I just know that gold holds the most value, and that is already a lot. It's already like $5, $6, $7, $8,000 an ounce or something, and that's supposed to go up. But silver is going to have the hugest because there is a lot of products that are held back from the for one thing, that is so repressed, but for the other thing, that in all these patents that have been held back for all this new technology, there is a lot of stuff with silver. There's some kind of silver thread that is in our future, and it is going to be, it's going to make silver very valuable. And so silver is going to be worth a lot. It's going to go way up. There's going to be a big jump. But then as things start going and technology starts going, silver is going to gain value, gain value, and gain value. You got to not think about when you get it that it's just like using it like dollars. They got people to use dollars around like consumers. They created consumers. And so we're shifting out of that reality. And it's a change of perspective. It's a change of looking at things differently. And so, and it's your steps, it's your journey. You know, I can't tell you how to get there. I can just tell you these things that are evolving. And it's all about our perspective and how we look at things and changing our value system. It's us changing our value system is what changes the world, you know? And so I keep trying to say that in different ways, but you just got to see, and I just know when I say some of this stuff that people see it in a lot of different ways. I can't worry about that. So anyways, one thing though, for one thing, Crystal, I told you that was fucking freaky. I'm not just saying, like, not very much shit freaks me out. And yeah, that fucking face by the moon, that thing freaks me the fuck out. And I went on to look for the video where you can see it because it's looking down and you see the black in its eyes moving. And it was on somebody's story, and it said it had expired. And I can't find the original one because I can't find any thing. And when I went in, I found the ones that up at the top. And so anyways, but there's a bunch of people talking about it. I'm sure there's a lot more videos, and I don't know. Those are the ones that came up though, but I couldn't find that one. And it is so creepy. But anyways, that face thing and that whatever the hell is up there that's looking at us or watching us or whatever the hell, it's creepy. So, and it makes you feel very small. Like, we're the ants. And it's like, ah! And so it's creepy. But one thing that really gets me, I swear to God, and I knew that this would be coming. I knew it. Even when you're documenting it and you can watch, while you're watching it happen, you still have these people. And as like I'm faking it, people are so gullible, and that, oh, well, if copper just turned your hair, everybody with copper pipes wouldn't have gray hair. It's like you have to have the other minerals too. You're still short on the other minerals. So even if you have copper pipes, if you're short in magnesium, you're short in selenium, you're short in phosphorus, you're short in boron, any of these other minerals that you're short in that your body needs, it's going to draw from somewhere in your body. It's going to draw from your bones. It's going to draw from your hair. It's going to draw from your organs. It's drawing some kind of energy from it. It's pulling it out. It's sucking the life out of this other part of your body. And that is where we just, have accepted, oh, well, that's aging. That's what happens when you get old. No. No. And I'm trying to show with proof that it is a lie. I don't get some of these people. It's weird. And these hairdressers, they'll come in and argue about, like, your hair is dead. I had somebody say the most asinine thing. Well, if that was true, then what about all the hair in my hairbrush? Wouldn't that still be alive? I was like, well, is it still attached to your head? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, oh my God, I can't get over that. It's like people just want to argue. I'm not even going to think about that. Does it make sense? No, I'm not going to think about that. I'm just going to just whip it back and say something stupid. It's like, I just can't even fucking handle, like, why? I don't want to deal with that fucking bullshit. Like, you just want to draw energy just because you're just asinine. You don't think for yourself. You don't stop. You don't do research or anything. And these people who are convinced, oh, that's impossible. That's not happening. And I just had a girl in the comments, I think her name was Sarah, and she said that her sister had gotten really, really sick. And when her sister got sick, her hair started turning white. Her hair started draining all the color out. And she was real young. And then when she got better, all the hair color came back in her hair. And the more that this stuff keeps being said, the more that like there's this proof. Because to me, I'm living proof. I'm living proof, and I'm doing it like I didn't just do it at home and then zipped out and said, "Hey everybody, guess what happened?" No, I'm doing it like live. And then besides, if somebody were to say like, "Oh no, that's fake. She's just coloring her hair." You would be able to tell. There would be chemicals on my hair. You'd be able to tell. Couldn't be pretending. It's like, I don't know. It's so fucking absurd. It's like people don't even like sit and watch for a while. Go look at some more of the videos where I'm talking. Go do some other and maybe, just maybe, this world is different than what you think it is. It's just like, oh my God. You'll just argue and argue to try and hold on to this version of what they believe in. No, this is the truth. This is the truth. Yeah, well, I'm showing right here. This is different. Nope, this is the truth. I don't care. You're faking. This is the truth. It's like, what the fuck? It's weird. It's weird. It's like how locked in people are to their cognitive dissonance. They're just completely, they've shadow banned their brain. Oh my God. I'm gonna keep it in the shadows, please. I'm banning it from thinking. So anyways, it's I don't know, it's part of the process of the awakening. It's part of, and I think it's part of that thing of people seeing their own biases and these things happening. It's like at the end, you know what I mean? It's like right before, it's like at the end of what was. Just like somebody said, this is our 4-year, on Twitter, somebody had done a tweet or something. This is our 4-year anniversary from when life stopped being normal. I was like, oh my gosh. So that, it's kind of like this, I mean, what a perfect time to like, to have it switch, everything had switched to not be normal and confusing. And so it seems like the perfect time to switch it, to make it so you see the truth. And I feel like it's like so much right on the edge. Like now, like this was getting me because, like I had said, I had gotten triggered by this person. And this was in 11, it was 11/11/17. And I didn't even know I didn't even know the date or anything. Like this is all stuff like, because this is a few years ago, like, and it's been such a process, and I'll talk more about it when, at the appropriate time. But now, I'm still sitting here by myself, so it wouldn't make much sense. But anyways, that one of the things was that there was this event that had happened, and I was going to go to it. I was going to be face to face with this person, and this was I had gotten tickets to this thing, and it was the tickets were for May, I think it was. And so I went to the wedding, I came back, and lockdown happened, and I had these tickets. I had been talking about it, and nobody could believe in how the whole thing worked. It was like the fucking magic of the universe. It was crazy, and nobody could even, believe it. It was just like, oh my gosh, this is wild. And so then lockdown happened, and I was like, oh shit, like, well, how long is this gonna go? What's gonna happen next? And then I was holding on, thinking, I would get there. And then it got canceled. Everything got canceled and stuff. But everything had lined up so perfect to get to that moment, to have it fall. And that is where I'm feeling like right now is like, is that what's happening with the plastic surgeon's office? Like everything was like so perfect. We're so close. I've already paid my down payment. And we're so close. It's like 6 days. Because right now this would be the morning in a week I would be going. And so it would be in the morning. So it's 6 days left of having these things in there. Hopefully. I feel like it's all lining up so perfect though. But anyways, that came into my head this morning, how everything had lined up so perfect. It seemed so, and then all of a sudden it was like poof. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, because when I saw that thing this morning where she said about her money, she went to go look at her thing, and then she was looking at the debt calculator and all that. I was like, oh crap, got one weekend to go before that. This could be the weekend. All these weekends. I was like, oh, hopefully this is the weekend. Hopefully this is the weekend. And then it gets to this one weekend. But if it goes that way, I mean, yeah, I'm going to be disappointed. But that's where you got to go with the flow. Well, what's not meant to be is not meant to be. But that doesn't mean it's not going to be. It just means it's not that situation. That wasn't the best situation. It wasn't the best place or something. That's where you got to kind of get in the groove with the universe of trust. And so anyways, but yeah, coming up to it, it's like, every single day, even, it's like, oh, how am I supposed to sleep? How am I supposed to get through this? This is a whole week. I gotta get, and it's already Wednesday, but it's still, I've still got all these days to go still. And a lot can happen over those days. Like, Seattle can blow up for all I know. I mean, they're blowing up Michigan. And, and then there's this weird thing with, well, there's a whole bunch of stuff with Diddy going on. Like, a whole bunch of stuff being exposed. Something's tickling my nose. Is a bunch of stuff with him being exposed. But, I mean, the rumors about him have been going for so long. And then, but there's this new thing going with this boxer. And when my morning started, when my evening continued, whatever, when I was just on the TikTok, and it was like the first video that popped up, and I was just like, well, who is this guy? This is extreme. And so he's talking about some extreme shit. And he's talking about, being forced to be at the Grove and to witness stuff. And I guess that they make him do that or something to control him. Apparently, I would guess. So, terrorize people and be, oh, we'll do it to you too. But anyways, I don't know. Because he witnessed some really horrific things and he's freaked out, and then there's all this drama, and then he disappeared, and now he's back, like, trying to tell people don't worry. Like, I don't know if he's on the run or something because he was exposing this stuff on a podcast or something. Like, to me, they're making a huge drama to get people's attention. And I don't know if it's a certain demographic that wasn't paying attention, like people who follow boxing and sports. Like, that is true. Jesus Christ. Like, the people who follow sports, oh my God, so fucking, it reminds me so much of what is that, the Coliseum. I was like, those Coliseums were filled with those kind of people. Off with their head. And there's some of the stuff, like, I've been to, I don't remember if it was the Mayan pyramids or there's some pyramids in Mexico, and you go in those things and they talk about some of the different stuff, the games and stuff that were played. And there was a game that they would do, like basketball, only it was real heads. Like, there was some vicious fucking games that people would sit in those fucking coliseums and cheer on. And I have always, that's where I say, like, I'm just an old soul. I look at something, my reference is what it is. And yeah, I would see that, and I would always be like, all I could see was the Coliseum, and just the cheering and the mindless, let's watch those ones get hurt. Like, I don't know. I've always seen it that way. But so, yeah, I guess so. There is a lot of crime, man. Think about how much crime is involved around sports. Oh, so much crime with betting, and now all this stuff is coming out. All the games are rigged. It's all just a ballet. It's all just a show. And oh my gosh, there's an interview going right now too with Allie. So she's out on the circuit too. Like, there's a lot of people out on the circuit right now interviewing and saying, like, that's another thing that shows, like, who's in control. They've lost control. If they're still out there, they've lost control. You know, there's way too many people. And even when I started doing this and it was getting so much attention on TikTok and stuff, and then I was getting so many attacks from certain people and stuff, I started thinking, like, this is the information they want to keep hidden. Like, this kind of shit could put you in danger. And then it's like, okay, perfect timing. That would show me as, again, that there's control on our side, that we are in our flow, that we're in our movement. That what's holding us back is our own version, our own vision of not seeing or holding ourselves back through our own attachments or biases to something that is going or gone. But it's kind of like we're chasing a shadow, because it really is gone, but it's kind of like we're chasing it in order to see that it's gone. You know, it's like we're behind it, but it's already happened. That's why it's like we're watching a show. It's because it's already happened. It's like our mind is just catching up with what is going on. But I do think it is like we're more safe, because definitely people like me who have had these like things happen, that all of a sudden realize stuff or figure stuff out and start sharing it, oh, they're taken out. Like, they'll take you out, and they can do it easy. They got their drones. Like, we all think, oh, that's so cool. Yeah, they just zip around, shoot you down with a laser, you fall over. Oh, it's another one of those stroke victims. Don't know. Just sweep them up, go take them to the food processing, and let's get on with our day. Just another dead one. It gives more food for those ones that are hungry. Those ones that are hungry, they never stop. And a couple burgers, it leads to 3, 4. It's like, oh my God. So, anyways, let me think what I was talking about. And I have seen other people who, one girl, she was like, oh, wait a second, I just lost my channel. Okay, so that is what, it's like you're in the, that's what it is like too. You're on a channel. It's like you're tuned into a radio, and I can multi-tune. Like, I can switch over. It's weird how I can look over, but it really is like when I'm looking past my eyes, past what's here. But it's weird because it's not looking past it. Even though it looks like it's looking past it, it's like you're looking in, but it's out. I don't know how to explain it. But I think it's just, I don't know. Maybe it was, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain how some of us can do things that other people can't, but I know we can all do it. You know, we all can do all this stuff. You can learn how to listen to your guidance. You can learn how to read the signs. You can learn how to focus on your internal vision and be able to change channels. And you be able to learn how to decipher between the energies that are communicating with you. And I guess it's just a whole thing. And, you know, I just didn't know I was doing anything different than other people until this whole awakening. And then you start hearing other people. It's like, what? It was really surprising. I thought we all lived the same. I didn't know there was other, I always am like, well, how do you get by? Like, how do you, like, how strange. And maybe that is, you know, I mean, maybe I've come into this life with bumpers on, like, maybe I'm the weak ass. I had to have bumpers. It's like, oh, you guys, please stay with me. I'm scared. And the other people are like, shut up. I don't want to hear you. I've got this. I'm on this road by myself. You know, maybe it is like those souls are just a lot more like, fuck off. I'm busy here. I'm not listening to you. I'm living my experience. I don't know. I have no idea. I just know that I've been in constant communication, like, so, and it's helped me because I don't have bitterness and anger and resentment and hatefulness. I'm not holding on to, oh, that person 15 years ago when they did that to me, I'm so mad still. I'm not like that. I just let go of stuff to the point where people think it's strange. Oh my God. But I just know, like, there's more going on than you understand. Like, and I have guides and stuff. Like, they tell me stuff. And they never say, hold on to that. Hold on to that. Oh, yeah, stay mad about that. Yeah. No, they don't ever say that. I promise you. Never. And if you do, if you are trying to hold on, if you have a lot of guidance, they will be telling you, you got to stop. You got to just let that go. They'll give you, they won't be like put pressure, but they'll point things out to you. They'll make things where you start seeing, like it could be they point out instances where you've done things. It could be that you see a situation happen and then you can see it from the other person's point of view. Like there's different things. They'll get you to see what you're supposed to see. If you're not supposed to see, you won't see. You know, they work with you. And all I can see is like, I would say, like, it's you being open and asking the questions. But, you know, as soon as I started to say that, then, you know, I see myself at 3 years old. I wasn't sitting there saying, hey, anybody up there want to give me some advice here? Like, I wasn't doing that. I just wanted to go put soap in my brother's water. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to make him suffer because I shouldn't have to go get his water for him. I mean, he was 1.5 years old. He could have fucking walked himself. And it was already the pressure of being the oldest child. They had already enslaved me at that point. I was already rejecting their enslavement. So I was pissed off in that bathroom. And then the voice of God came across and started speaking to me. And then that changed my life, apparently, in a different direction than I guess. I don't know. It makes me think like everybody probably had that moment. And maybe they just said, shut the hell up. I don't want to hear it. Or went the other way. And then, so the guides just sit back and they're like, okay, let's just watch. This is what we're supposed to do. Because they can't tell you. They can't just like, you could be doing stupid ass shit and they can't come in and say, you're doing stupid ass shit. Stop it. You know, they can try and get you to see. They'll like have different situations happen, different people you talk to, like they give you opportunities to see, but it's not like they're giving it to you anyways. It's like you're giving it to yourself because you are the creator of your experience. Oh, and this is another thing too that I guess the love and light people, which, you know, what's kind of strange too, is how can you fix something if you refuse to look at it? Like, and a lot of those people all think that they are so doing all this hard work and stuff like that. Well, what are you working on? You're not even looking at yourself. You know, working on your jewels, working on your necklace. I don't know. So, anyways, another thing that what they're doing apparently is like, you know, a lot of people man, my hair is attacking my face, or my oil is drawing it in. A lot of people, as they're awakening, are turning to, you know, trying to find the answers. And so there's a lot of questions. And so the ones, they turn to these spiritual, like these ones that are on platforms right now. I just call them like these spiritual gurus or something that I think, there's a lot of them that aren't real. And, but, you know, we're being shown an artificial world. And a lot of them, I don't even think that they don't know that they're not real. But that, but they're going to be shown. They're going to see for themselves. But so apparently they are saying stuff to people, like people who have like cancer and stuff, are going in or family members or something and trying to talk to them. And they're telling people that, well, that's just your low vibration. You're doing that to yourself. You have to go and change your vibration so that you don't have that. And so this whole thing, what they're saying about cancer. And so I want to clarify something about disease and stuff, because you experience disease for a lot of different reasons. And there's a lot of different reasons why people go through the experiences they go through. So you can't just lump it all in. And so it is, the, like, for instance, you could be coming in playing a role. And because there is so much learning linked to being sick for people around you, like there's so many different lessons. Anybody who has gone through long-term sickness or had a family member who's gone through long-term sickness knows it's a fucking roller coaster of emotions and things that you have to face and learn and grow. So that is one reason why disease is there. Another reason disease is there is because we are in a point in time in our history as a human earthlings that we are experiencing disease. And so we experience disease for the experience to understand and how we look at things and how we feel things, and then there's learning about how to heal yourself, and how to there's just a wide variety of all of these lessons. So when somebody is sick, yeah, facing your wounds and detoxing and stuff is a huge part, because that is a part of our physical world right now. And my stomach's already starting to growl. But I wanted to eat cookies when I got up and I didn't, so I haven't eaten any. But I had to have some tea. Maybe I've only had one cup of tea though. Maybe I did try and lay down, but then I was like, fuck, I'm awake. And then I was like, okay. So I fell asleep. I think I fell asleep. I was so fucking tired. I was like dragging, and to a point where my brain, I felt like my head was going to sleep. And so I think I fell asleep. I lay down on the thing and I turned on some movie and still was laying her asleep. As soon as I start going to sleep, then she jumps up. So that little battle there for 15 or 20 minutes. And then I just laid down and shut my eyes and was just like out. And then I woke up and it was dark out, and I had to turn off the lights and stuff. And I went back to sleep for a couple more hours, but then it was like, it already seems like I've slept like 6 hours. Like, I don't want to keep trying to convince myself, well, you got to get 8. You got to, no, why? I'm laying here. I'm so used to this now, like sleep a little bit here, sleep a little there. And I don't know, everything just is so different. Everything's just so different. And like when you start just living, it just is so different than what they told you and how they tried to train you. And I don't know how to, some of the stuff, it's like, you just got to see it for yourself. You just got to go through the experience, go through the experience of healing and seeing how much better you feel. Go through the experience of detoxing, see how much better you feel. Go through the experience of, replacing minerals in your body and see how much better you feel. And I can't wait to get this plastic out. I feel like it's going to make a difference. I feel like that there's going to be something where I'm going to feel like, oh my God, I feel so much better. So I really hope that I hope everything stays in alignment to get there. Oh, I hope this is really it. But just gotta go with the flow. Go with the flow. Anyways, but when somebody has disease, and so I think an important thing right now in our society is because we're learning about independence and sovereignty in all these different like palaces in our reality that we looked up to. We're all there to hurt us. That's weird too, how it is like palaces, like how it used to be, but now Western media, like these palaces of power. It's just like shifted from where it was like we were the peasants. We're still the peasants, but yeah, that's weird. So it's like these palaces of power, but this is the palaces are going down, just like that Disney one burned up. That is like not reminiscent, is foreshadowing The foreshadowing of all these palaces burning down is going to be the end of all of these different structured forces interfering in our existence. And so that is why I say at this period of time, while if you have sickness and disease, it is to push you internally. And you can have disease where you need to face like past lives and stuff. That is something, and that's why I say you got to realize like you're not whatever they want to tell you. You're 40 years old, 30 years old, 25 years old, 60 years old, whatever. No, you're in the billions. Like, tap into who you are. You are not fucking this limited. You gotta tap into who you are. You're way bigger. You got way more years under your belt. Like, you're fucking ancient. So you have an ancient soul. So tap into who you are. And so, anyways, and tapping into yourself is where you find your power too. You find your power to heal yourself. You find your power to be yourself. And so that is this breaking down of these structures. So like, yeah, right now at this time with there's so much disease, just like how, I had that disease and then I healed myself, but I didn't even know. That's one thing too, that I feel like I have to put out there as disclosure. Yeah, I've had some things that I healed. I got colitis. I knew I was healing colitis, my brain injury. I knew I couldn't heal my brain, that it has to create new pathways. When pathways are disrupted or broken, it's like they're broken, and then you have to go through this period of time where there's just a lot of brokenness in your brain, and it's hard because this world does not function in a broken way. It's like boom, 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 and you aren't firing on all cylinders, and it can be very overwhelming, and people can really but you just have to keep taking time. Like, my brain injury was 11 years ago now. And I still have things like with numbers, which, by the way, it's 82 minerals and that is in the Celtic salt. And I think the Baja mineral even has more. But somebody was saying that we have 102 we need, but there's a lot of stuff. So the Baja gold mineral salt has a lot of minerals you need. And all you got to do is take a couple crystals and you put them under your tongue. Some people do it a couple times a day and then drink water. And it just, I don't know, cleans out your whole system. And so all your organs and stuff, it rehydrates you. And so, anyways, and the same with the Celtic salt. But the Celtic salt is more expensive. It got jacked up because it got so popular. But anyways, these mineral salts are, valuable. I had already gotten those, see? And so that was going too at the same time as I had started the magnesium. I just didn't think of it being that, I just thought it was like salt. That was healthier. I'm trying to find healthy stuff. And I wasn't thinking like it was working in tandem with the copper and the magnesium and the vitamin D to start reversing aging, or they're reversing the signs of aging or reversing the concept of aging. But anyways, in the healing things though, like when I got Hep C, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know. And if I would have known, yeah, it would have been a lot more harder to not take their shots and their shit that they would have been offering to fix it, because I would have thought, oh my God, I'm going to die. If I don't take those, I'm going to have to take those. I would have not known. The most magical thing is to find out, like, yeah, I remember being real sick. But, and I was going to the doctor for other things. And I can't help but think it had to be around that time. But then also I had colitis. Like, there's been some, but it's the only time that I really feel like where I was to the point where I felt like I was going to die or something. It was all after my hysterectomy. It was like everything, like, man, all of that stuff. It was like Western medicine had to really, and it was like all started tumbling. But even when I was working at the hospital though, it was already where I was like looking at shit and going, man, this is shady. Like, I was just, there was a lot of stuff I was seeing. And then I got to see even more. Man, it was not a pleasant vision, but I've learned a lot. And it did put me on a new journey, and a more healthy, productive journey, because I was not going towards getting younger in the other journey. I was, planning retirement. I was working on aging and stuff. So, I was following the patterns, taking all their chemicals and shit. So, now that I'm working on getting younger and taking care of myself, and I see the value and then knowing that I healed something that was so serious. And then it's like, well, if we can heal that, like we don't need them. We don't need them. And then there's all these people who are healing cancer all over the place. And then it's like, okay, so that is the pull into sovereignty. And then you have a lot of things that are a lot more, you know, a lot of your disease and stuff is coming from past life stuff. It's playing itself out. This was something I thought was kind of interesting. So I had just seen this tarot girl had popped up on my thing, and she started talking, and it was like so exact. Like she was so directly talking to me. It was so exact. I couldn't believe it. And so one thing that she had said, and this is something that I talk about and I've talked about, and that also had caught my attention, but how the so all your relatives, your generational, your ancestral trauma and all that stuff, and so your link in there, and so all of the different traumas that you yourself have gone through and experienced, so all the different things, bad relationship, different bad friendship, all the different things that it is actually, and I don't know, this is just what this girl said, but I found it fascinating, that it's actually the different people in your line who are leading up to you. It is you replaying out their situations. So it's like a situation that, your great, 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 great grandma went through. And so now you are the link to play out her situation. So she's here with you. You're playing her situation out, only you're playing it out and changing it. And it is creating an empowerment and creating a movement of healing that is affecting not just you. Just like I said, how your ancestors and stuff, they stay with you because when they went through their lives and they had situations happen, then where they found that they wish they would have done something different, and then they see the effects. But once you're out of the game, see, you are kind of stuck because you made those effects, you set that in motion. And and you can go back into other lives and try and put things back into order. Or a lot of people, they hang out and try and give an energy, a direction, support or something. They stay with you. And so it's like you are working out their problems too. And so it's like you're creating an ascension for more than just you. You're healing more wounds than just yours. And it's not like you are doing their healing for them, but you're turning something that was turned out of balance, you're rebalancing it, which releases them and it lets them free. So they aren't attached to that hold isn't on them anymore, to that situation, because now you cleaned it up. And I was like, that's what I was seeing when she was saying that stuff. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense, because I keep saying we're so much more linked than what people think. And our lessons are so much more, where people want to get so on their own and so judgy of the other ones and so hateful towards different people. And but there is but we're all like holding hands. We're all like passing the baton. Like, I did what I could do. You take it from here, sister. You take it from here. And we just keep passing it and in soul land. Like, A lot of people forget that, what they're doing here. But in soul land, we are healing and rebalancing, and we're putting things in order. It's like we're creating and putting things in order. It's like the storms come in, and then we come in, and it's like this. It is like the yin and yang. It's like the storm and the cleaning up that goes right behind it. And everything is micro macro. So then you got to think about that inside yourself, and it really is a part of our experience. Go through the storm and then go through the peace. And the peace is the time of reflection of everything you learned. You go back through the storm, you go into your time of peace. It's like these cycles. And then these cycles, though, have purpose. They have meaning. And it's not just like about you. It's not just about your mistakes. It's like all these mistakes throughout that have reverberated out into your existence, because it's all a reverberation. Every action that we take creates a reverberation. So every time you, like if you're a parent even, and every time your kid does something, you just give them a dirty look, there's a reverberation. That creates an energy. When you do that, that creates a response. The response creates an energy. And so where that energy goes, and that is the thing, is like a parent could be thinking like, as a parent in the experience, they could be thinking like, as a soul, you come in and it's like, well, you're going to go into this certain template. You're going to go in and with all of your tools, and you're going to play out the thing. And so you already know, but you don't know what it's going to feel like. Like I'm telling you, I can see a lot of things, but when we get into the part where we're experiencing it, like it's way heavier. It's way heavier. Like to be able to see and to know like, oh, there's going to be a lot of storms. There's going to be a lot of really crazy death. There's going to be like a lot of horrible shit happening to kids. Like you can see it. But you like quickly, like you don't sit there and just like focus on it. It's too horrible. But you can see it clearly. But then when you get into the part where you're going through it and the experience, yeah, it's way different. And so when the soul comes in to experience and go through it, and then they're learning from it. But it's kind of like, what do you do with each experience? But so like, say you think as a parent, like the things you've gone through, well, if I just give him that look, then he'll know. And that's what I wish my parent would have done. Every time I did something, my parent just backhanded me. And so, see, you're the parent who did that energy. So they created that energy in you, which created another energy response. And so none of the things are healthy or helpful. It's still toxic behaviors, but it is a stepping down. It's like, okay, well, it's like a buffering, but still you are still experiencing. It's like you're forcing your experience on your child. Whatever bothered you, then you think, well, I'm going to do it different so that it doesn't bother my child, which your child is going to be bothered by what you do. It may not have been bothered by that, because that wasn't, like, this is really hard to explain. So be bothered by what you do, but it is more like because you do it. It's more of like the relationship is supposed to be that way. It's not supposed to be. There's not supposed to be one of the parents that does everything perfect. It's always going to be these tweaks, these little shifts. Each little notch, each person that comes in creates another notch. It's not like because even when you are healing things, it is it's weird too, because there's a lot of damage you've already done to other people. You've already, responded from your own pain, your own issues. But that is what our society has been for so long. We've all been going around just as broken people, creating more broken people. And so, but that's where you become more aware and mindful. You think more about what you do and how you affect people. And so that, is part of the creating change in our society. But let me see if I can see that again. So the person, so if they sit there and they like give this kid a dirty look every time this kid like is trying to express their needs or something, but it's bothersome to the parent. The parent's got too much on their mind. They're wound too tight. And what everything is so crazy too is because so much of what's going on in people's minds, it's got them so wound, so tight, is just on replay. And so, but don't bother me. I'm freaking busy replaying a lot of shit here. And so, and the kid is trying to be like, I don't know, kids are a lot more present. They I don't know when it begins where they start, just replay. Oh, and, they said this and I should have said that and I could have done that and then they did that. And if I would have done that, well, maybe if I would have worn that, well, if I did that and I would have won, it's just like, I don't know when that starts. Because little kids don't just sit there and do that. They're a lot easier to let shit go. So, but when you keep shutting them down and making them feel like they have no value, and even, like a face, because that's what we read, a face. Like, I mean, Stella can, like, I can look at her a certain way and she'll just get up and like, I'm out. I'm just like, fuck that. I don't want to see that mean face. That, is like a part of our existence of understanding ourselves when we're little, is that is how we understand, is the faces looking back at us, the expressions, how they behave. Oh man, it's so sad right now. God. Especially that one the one that's all over the news. There's so many of these though. It's like, Jesus Christ. So much about this guy. Oh. Yeah. For one thing, I mean, he was doing this stuff to this kid for a couple years. She just turned 13. He's been doing it since she was 11. Mom had to have known about this stuff. It seems that she was involved in some of this stuff. It was got all this shit on his phone. And he's got old friends popping up. And this one guy, he was on a podcast and he said that when he had a falling out with them. They were best friends for like 10 years when they were younger. And then when all the guys got to be like of age and stuff and were having parties, I think they were like 20 years old and stuff. And he started asking to bring his 17-year-old girlfriend to their parties. And all the guys were like, no, I'm bringing some kid to our parties. Well, apparently she was 13 or 14. So he's been this way for a long time. And there's a lot of stuff. It's just like, there's so much to purge out of our society. There's so much hidden in the shadows where people hide. And I guess apparently he's very attractive. When you see him like on the news and all looking all pitiful and stuff, this looks like an old fucking chimo fuck. But in those clips. But when they show like old pictures and stuff, it's like, you can't sit here and think like every, chimo is a hideous, big, obese creature living in a basement. No, there is fucking normal looking people out there. The amount of numbers, this is another thing too, that is mind blowing. This woman was talking about that, I can't remember her deal, because I've seen a lot of these channels. I don't even know how they develop. Somehow they started where people send them stuff and then we'll go and look and then they'll just become so outraged. And I don't remember what this woman's was that got her to do it. If it was her followers sending her stuff or what. That happens a lot. But so she, it was something about these all these accounts like on YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. They're all over the place apparently. And single moms start these little kid accounts. And so in these little kid accounts, this woman was saying when you go in and see that the amount of saves, she said it is like a kid sitting there eating a popsicle, and the moms are doing this. Is what is so fucking sick. Like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, can you imagine? Can you fucking imagine? Like, there's going to be some realizations in some fucking kids' minds, man, when all this stuff starts being, oh God, oh, so sick. Some of this energy is so, oh, fuck. I fucking can't imagine. To wake up to that truth of your mom's awareness and exploiting you for, it's gross. Seriously, it's fucking gross. But so these women, it's like there's other, besides this, it's like there's other ways to live, but there's just so many other ways to live. Like this chasing for fucking riches and exploit, like it's so gross, it's so toxic. God, I can't wait till it's all just like shriveled up and gone. It's so gross. But so like 600,000 saves and shit. That's a lot of fucking pervs. Like, there's not just like a few. I mean, most of our fucking politicians are all like, there's a lot of fucking weirdo people that are attracted to, and I don't even know, like, what is attractive? Like, yeah, they're cute as hell. They got the cutest little butts, the cutest little fat thighs, the cutest little dispositions. They're all just sweet as hell with their cute big smiles. But what is sexy about that? Is it like these people are like want power over them? Like, I don't get it. I mean, I think, I'm back from the days where we would take pictures of our babies' butts and show everybody how cute these little fat, little round butts and the little fat thighs. Like, that used to be a thing. And it wasn't pervy at all. It was just so damn cute. And, who knew? There's people that are sitting there looking at that like it's like, I mean, it's so weird to me. It was so weird. I'm going to be so glad when this energy is out of our existence. And it will be. This energy is coming to the surface and it's being purged out of society. And the people who carry it, who can't purge it out, who can't get rid of it, they won't go forward. It's impossible. You cannot carry a toxic, low vibration of not caring and hurting kids and stuff. And I think it's that guy I was just talking about. They've already said he's up for death penalty. What did I say? I said all these people. That is a big thing that was in those executive orders. And you commit crimes towards kids, you're out. And I swear to God, I think it has something to do with the spiritual part of this evolution of what's happening here, because these energies are leaving. It's like, yep, they're leaving. Bye. You're going out. And I'm telling you, I don't think that we're going to be filling prisons. No, I think it's going to be, especially it's kind of like, go deal with it on the other side. Because once you really start understanding about spiritual and what we're moving into, and that you don't really die, and if you're, all jacked up on your toxicity and you can't get out of it, then just, opt out, go deal with it. There's like some kind of a thing, like when you die in the game, then you leave the game, that you go to your review and stuff, but there is like a place, it's like a purgatory or something. It's like an in-between. It's like you don't go right up into high vibration. If you can't do it, you have to stay there. It's another realm, but it's not a realm like that we can just go and get to. It's a realm that is like, there's all this stuff is realms and realms and realities, and everything is your vibration that moves you around. And say like if you're going by here and you aren't of this vibration, this would not be in your awareness. You wouldn't see it. That's why there's so much that has been around us that we have not been able to see, because it wasn't in our awareness, it wasn't in our vibration. But then as you awaken and your vibration begins to change and you begin to attach to your higher self, and your vibration begins to change, you begin to see things, you begin to understand things and hear things. It's like you are evolving out of the mind trap and the game institution. And so anyways, it is all about this evolution, and the sickness at this time is for you to save yourself, to pull free. Like if some people are super sick and they keep running back to the doctors and stuff, it's going to keep blowing up. It's going to keep going wrong, because everything the universe is going to push you is to yourself, to heal yourself, to focus on. And one thing too about like when you're healing yourself is go in and focus, visualize. And if you're not good with visualizing, just imagine, like somehow get an idea. You don't have to like watch it like it's a moving picture. You just can tell yourself the story. And on whatever level that you can see it or play it out or whatever, but focus on the area in your body that hurts, and then go in and start picturing it, healing. Like if you have cancer, I've heard that you go in and you picture the tumor and it just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and you just keep doing that all the time. You keep picturing it getting smaller. There's this one woman, and she was talking about if she has pain, she'll call in like all these little energies, and she'll tell them to clean them, and she'll picture them all in there sweeping and cleaning. And I did that one day, and they were in there sweeping and cleaning, and it went away. And so it's, you are the creator of the story, but you have to focus on the area. You have to pull in your energy, focus on the area. And another thing that is helpful is to figure out what is being held there. There's an energy being held there that wants your attention. And so it can be like old back pain. You've got this back pain. And it can be very much from some past life where you were injured. And so you are not dealing with something from that life. And there's something that you need to deal with so that you can let go of it. Because that pain is there it's the link. It's there to hold you to that. And so that's why all these different links and things are things that you have to give attention to, so you can release them, so you can move forward. Because that is what all this time period is about, is releasing this old world, releasing what was, releasing the old sides of yourself, releasing the old toxicity, everything that was you that isn't you. And but that is for you to start understanding and seeing. It is to find like how much cold and how much hot do you need to stay where you feel in balance, where you don't feel pulled in either direction. Because so many people feel so out of balance, and they don't feel like that they know how to gain balance, how they know how to manage themselves better. But everything has to do with awareness. It actually has to do with you being the manager over what's going on, minding the manner, going in and being the, what is that guy? It was like the hotel when it has like he's a manager kind of guy, but he's called something else, it seems like, in these fancy hotels. But so you got to be that for yourself. It is you are managing all these different things. You're balancing all these different things, and you are looking at your behavior and asking yourself, like, are you proud of yourself? Are you glad you handled it that way? Is that what you want to do? And then when you do, you don't sit and replay it for 6 years when you don't like it. You go in, you look at it, and you think like, why did I do that? Like, why the hell did I do that? And then you go in and try and understand yourself and go in deeper, because that's where you need to release it. You don't just sit there and replay it and replay it and replay it. No, go deeper into it. Find what is holding you. Why did you make that reaction? Is that a reaction that is a healthy reaction? Is that a wounded child reaction? Is that something that you feel like, a mature, responsible person would do? And so that's where you start being honest and truthful with yourself, and you start managing yourself, becoming who you want to becoming the person that you want to be, taking actions in the direction you want to take. The world is not holding you back like you think it is. And the more that you get into the flow and the more you get into the groove and allow, it's like get into the recognition that destiny's at the helm. You're just on this ride, and stop trying to fight the ride. Just go along with the flow, go with the ride, and enjoy the scene, enjoy what's going on. And then when you run into a crisis, just remember that that crisis is there so that you can learn to champion yourself, to empower yourself. It totally reminds me so much. This is a vision that comes into my mind so often, is in Weird Science, where those kids feel so much like, they're the nerds, they can't stand up to anybody, and people are going to push them around. And then those bikers come in the house and they're driving around and stuff, but she brought them there to show the kids their own power. And even when she's trying to coax them into standing up to these bikers, and they're like, no, no, and they're hiding. And so then she keeps pushing them and pushing them, like the universe will push you and push you and push you. So she's pushing them into realizing their own power. As soon as they stand up to them and say, then the bikers start apologizing. Oh, sorry, we didn't mean to disrupt you and all this. So it just takes this standing up. And I think that I get shown that a lot because about the house thing is don't feel intimidated by them trying to wave their power. It's like they're just trying to wave their dick in our faces all the time. They're a bunch of knee breakers. They're bullies. And that's why they get other people to bully other people in order to control them. That's why our society is built the way it is, with this hierarchy and these bullies and this, and so much is just greed. So much with people just like do anything for a little bit of money. It's like so nasty, so toxic. It's like, do you not know your integrity has so much more value? And that is not something you can gain back. You don't sell it. The price is like, it's priceless. But you see people selling it, and so then they get to, that's a part of their experience. It's a part of their learning. And it's, I can't say, like, there's way too much versatility in every soul story to be able to go in and be like, well, that one, I know what's going on with him. Like, no, none of us even barely know what's going on with our own selves, much less be able to figure out everybody else's story. We all have our own stories. We all have our own lessons. We all have our own life experiences. We all have our own opinions, perspectives, and we're all bringing something to the table here. There's all stuff that we're bringing in to, to create change. And, if you're here for that, I mean, there's some people who are here just to experience the dark side of themselves. And I, like I said, I don't know everybody's story. It's totally versatile. It's not like there's one set thing and all of them will have the same outcome. There's going to be a whole bunch of different outcomes. So it's not something, it's just, I think we just get way too caught up in trying to understand other, wow, why would they do that? Well, they shouldn't do that. If they did that, then if they did it different, then this could happen, I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe other people don't even think about that at all. They don't give a shit what anybody's doing. They don't even pay any attention. Maybe it's just like, maybe there's some of us. I imagine there's some of us, because I'm pretty sure I do that. Like, I'll think about, like, see somebody doing something and think, oh man, if they did it that way, it would be different. But that's where you got to remember, it's their lessons. You don't know what their lessons are all about. And so it's not my place, it's not my business, just like it's nobody else's business to, nobody knows mine, I don't even know all mine. Like it's just like it's being unveiled. It's being like shown. But, I mean, we don't. If you want to know anybody's, it's your own. That's where you got to go in deeper to try and understand your own story, your own plan, your own lessons, your own, past life and early life traumas that you are healing, and all the things that you are here to clean up and work on for yourself. And so that is, that's where you go internal and focus on your own. And I don't know, there's just so much where people think like if everybody else got fixed, life would be easy. But that's not how it works. Life becomes easy when you fix yourself, even if everything else is broken. Even if, because to me, even if it's frustrating and, you fix yourself and you work on yourself, but it changes your attitude. So you don't have like the same attitude towards people when people are having like toxic behaviors or something. You just see they're still in their process. So you don't feel so judgmental towards them. And you also, you feel a lot more like you can sit back in observation and not feel so judgy towards people. You can just see like the bigger picture, that there's more to things, and that if you get too focused, that it's your limitation, and limitations are based on fears. And so when you are limiting yourself to try and keep yourself feeling safe, then you got to find, where does that fear come from? What is it I'm scared of? And there's so many things. There's so many things that people are scared of. There's people are scared of the afterlife. They're scared of God. They're scared of the devil. They're scared of the politicians. They're scared of reptilians. They're scared. Like, there's so many things. And it really does seem like, man, like there is a lot of stuff going on. Like this really could be the weekend. Like, what is the chances of that? I sure hope it's the next weekend. This is in my perfect ideal. If I could say what I want to have happen, that we'll go through this weekend. There'll be a lot of stuff that'll go on. A lot more people will wake up. And then next week, I'll go to my thing. I'll go into the appointment. He'll be like, oh, yeah, we could do that real quick. And do it right then. Let me go home. I'll go home. And then, have a few days. My daughter's supposed to come, but I don't know when, because I keep thinking, man, go out and walk Stella. I won't be able to do that. I can't have her yanking on that muscle. And so anyways, but then, yeah, I have it shut down the next weekend. That would be the perfect thing for me, but since I'm not in control, destiny is. I've just got to sit back and see what's happening. So it's just like, you just got to just sit back and relax and let things play out. And I just know that things are going to get good, and no matter what, even if that appointment falls through, just like, however it had happened before, the meeting that had collapsed. But I know I know how, well, I assume I know how things have gone, but we'll see. We'll see, because it has to do with, I think it has to do with my truth, me seeing my truth, and I'm ready to see my truth. Especially, if I'm wrong about this stuff, then yeah, I'm ready to let it go and move on. It's, but yeah, I'm ready to see my truth. I'm ready to heal whatever it is that, is I'm ready for the good stuff. I'm ready for things to get good, and I know they're going to get good. Things are going to become, a lot better. It's good, but the thing is, it's sad. It's, because I can sit there and say, like, things are going to get a lot better, but it's not going to be a lot better for everybody all at once. There is a lot of people who have been out, out living their lives, and then they're going to have to, it's time to pay the piper. It's like when you have the consequences, is when you see the things. And so it's going to be a lot of different things for a lot of different people, but all these people who have If you haven't been focused on healing yourself and facing yourself and letting go of the past and letting go of the toxic world and your own toxic behaviors, then yeah, you're going to be hit with a lot at once. And there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be hit with a lot at once. But I have been saying for a while, and I still believe it, that throughout this, that a lot of people have been healing a lot of things, so that when they do get hit with a lot, there's a lot of stuff they've already healed, that they have been healing some things without realizing it. And so I think it's going to go smoother than, like, for some of us who had to go through that. But it's going to be hard, like, there's no doubt about it. So there's going to be good things happening for some people, and other people are going to really be going through it. And so we got to still be mindful and stuff, and still really realize what's going on here. You know, it's like we're in this giant, it's like the lab, we were in this giant lab habitat. The lab habitat all of a sudden reveals itself. It was all disguised under, you know, the palaces had created disguises. And so we were in this habitat, but we didn't realize it. So all of that habitat is falling down, and, you know, it's falling apart. But then you have to, it's like, then you have to go into like the infirmary mode. You know, you got a lot of stuff to heal. Like, you've been tested on your mind, your body, your soul, everything. Everything has been. So yeah, you have a lot of stuff to heal. So we're going like into this like infirmary mode. And that is where we're going to, like, all these healing centers. There's going to be a lot of healing centers. And yeah, there's these people who are popping up these healing centers and charging a lot of money for them. And yeah, they'll get overridden with the ones that will come, because there will be ones that will be, I don't want to say like Trump's or something, but it's like that group, whoever has him in their group, the white hat people or whatever, the people that are trying to get rid of the other people, that is, which is like military. That's like the military grade. All of that stuff that will become available, it will be free, because everything is going to be for human. It's going to be for us getting better and stuff. It's not going to be like they're going to be charging us a lot of money to go in and heal from all this fucking sickness has been caused to us. And so a lot of people who are, you know, are trying to jump on and make money off people and their healing and stuff, they're, you know, I don't know. I think a lot of those machines and stuff, we just need to have them in our houses. These high vibration machines. So I don't know, maybe they'll turn around and sell them, and we'll just buy them and put them in our houses or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, there will be a change. There's going to be a big change from people trying to make money off of other people. Just like on this thing with the copper cups. And so it was all these people, you know, what cup do you get? What vitamins, and, you know, send me the link. All these people want my exact stuff. And I'm like, I'm not saying that this stuff is the best stuff. I'm just saying what happened to me and my experience. This is what is happening to me. And so I'm not saying this is the best stuff. So anyways, I had shared the link to my cup a bunch of times, kept sharing it and sharing it and sharing it. And so anyways, this woman came in the other day, and she said, you know, she went on Amazon to get a copper cup and stuff. And she said, there's like 2,000 that were sold. And she said, I wonder how much you had to do with that. And I was like, yeah, that's amazing. Somebody's making somebody happy. But see, I don't feel like I need to make something off of that. I don't feel like I need to cut out of their pie. I feel like I'm being open and honest. I'm telling what works for me. And if somebody else provides that, then yeah, then they can have that. I don't need to have something from them in order to say that. You know, I don't need like, there's so many people are trying to make their whole persona, their whole job is that, like, saying that this product works so they can make money off of that product. It's like, I'm not doing that at all. I have no, yeah, I could go in there and do it right now. I could go in and say, hey, this cup, this vitamin, and get myself all linked up on Amazon and make money doing it. It's like, no, that's not my jam. Mm-mm. I mean, if that's your jam, then that's your jam, but it's not my jam. My jam is like much bigger than that. Like, mine's bigger. Mine's coming in hot. So, yeah, mine is universal. The universe is giving me. So that's what I based on, is what the universe is going to do, what the universe is going to give back, not trying to take from what somebody else is doing and making it harder on them. Like, if they've come out, and figured out how to make whatever it is that they're making and selling, then good for them. And then one thing too is, like, I can't say like, oh, for sure these vitamins are safe and stuff. No, I don't know. They could have the GR stuff in them, any of that stuff. Like, that's another thing too, is people put that stuff off on you if you say like, oh, this product, this is the one. So that's why I'm on full disclosure. I'm just saying, this is what I got. This is what I got. This is what I use. And I do, there's a whole thing about the cups. I think mine's from India, but there's a lot of those copper cups that come from China and stuff, and some of the other places put lead in them, and then that's not good for you to drink the lead, even though I swear to God, lead is something about a mineral. So I don't know, but anyways, you can get lead poisoning, but I don't know. They tell us a lot of bullshit, so I don't know. This is all stuff people got to figure out for themselves, because if your body needs lead, then it's going to need it. But I can't say go take lead, because they've told us it's poisonous. So anyways, they've got these cups coming from these other countries that they're saying are poisonous. And then there's another thing too, is, as I was told, is to put a magnet on your cup. So if you have a copper cup, put a magnet. And if it won't stick, then it's really copper. If it sticks, then you've got some other kind of metal like lead or something in there, and it's not, you need to get rid of it. And so anyways, I don't know, and I'm not promoting any products. I'm just saying what I was using, and then besides, we all have our own needs and our own stuff that we all need. So what I need that changed my hair may be different for other people. And just like that person, well, then everybody who had copper cups wouldn't have, or copper pipes wouldn't have gray hair. That's stupid. That's not even true. She's making this up. And so does everybody with the copper cups. Are they taking all these other vitamins too? Or copper pipes? So is everybody with copper pipes, they're just for sure taking these other vitamins? Like, they just come and pop off with this shit. It's like, like, even when somebody comes in and says to me, oh, I have copper pipes. And I've had people say, I've got copper pipes, I don't have gray hair. And I've had people come in and say, and then I'll say, oh, you must take vitamins and minerals. And I've had people say, well, I have copper pipes and I have gray hair. And they'll say, well, get some vitamins and minerals. Like, that's the whole thing. Everything is about. Or you can believe that aging is real, and that you're going to get old and your hair's going to change colors and all that stuff. It's up to you. You get to decide. But to me, I think the evidence is clear. Like, I for sure feel like I'm getting younger, not older. And I'm feeling better. And, I just think everybody can. And it still is like, even I just is so wild when I'll do it here. Well, here, see, like there, you can really see now, right? You can really tell that's not white. You can really tell, like, this is just a couple shades off now. Like, I'm telling you, it's just all of a sudden, it's going to be like, you're not going to see it. I'm so glad that I've documented this, because, yeah, there would be people who would be like, no way, you just colored that. But look at that. All this used to be white. All that used to be white. And now, and it was like a cottony too. Like, that's the thing too, is the texture changes. The texture gets healthier. And so, I don't know. I think I've made it clear what I think. I've made it clear over and over and over. They are killing us using chemicals. And the mind control of you not believing in yourself, not questioning things, not taking more action. Just, to believe like, oh, well, we're aging and never even question it. Just like we never, I don't know. I think that, there's people who questioned it, like, oh, how could we be spinning out in space? Why aren't we upside down? Why do we feel upside down? How could we be going that fast? Like, there's people who question it, but then they always just come back, and then they had a whole fucking army of motherfucking doctors telling us. All these doctors telling us like, oh, well, you're aging. That's aging. That's aging. And I don't know if it was on here or if it was in the comments on TikTok, but somebody was talking about that they were having some kind of aging thing, and then they went to Asian doctor, Oriental doctor, and so that doctor told them to take oh, I remember what it was. It was after the Dovik, and they couldn't taste anymore. They had no sense of taste or smell or something. And so they went to the doctor, and the doctor told them to start taking zinc and I can't remember the other one, zinc and something, and their taste came back. So, yeah, it's all, I'm telling you, is the effects of lack of minerals, which they have insidiously removed from our food, and the amount of depletion and vitamins, all of the depletion of things that were good for us is what is killing us, and it's killing us. It's not, you're not aging, you are dying. They are fucking killing you. So anyways, that is why I said this is a time when this is taking your health into your own hands. This is a time of sovereignty. So any sickness you have, that's the direction. It's not like, find the best specialist. You can go out and do a lot of research and try and find out what all these different specialists are using and doing, but go into the holistic research and see. Like, it's fascinating, what is healing people. And it doesn't give you side effects. It doesn't make you sick in the process. It's not trying to kill you to kill what's inside you. So it's much better. So anyways, and while you're doing that, you just got to remember to love yourself, love everyone, and have a loving day. And I'll talk to you later.